All right. Hey. Okay, well, I suppose we should probably check to make sure the image is good before I actually switch to it, don't you think? I'll do that. And there we go. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, December the 20th, 2016. Christmas is just around the corner. And we're doing yet another one of my Steve Speaking Freely podcasts. I'm kind of riled up today, I've got to be honest with you. Christmas is, of course, coming, but that's not what's got me riled up. What's got me, I'll get to that in just a second, but I wanted to remind you that I am here, I am live, I am loud, I am proud from Calgary in the Free and Independent Republic of Alberta. Man, do we got to get rid of Justin Trudeau. And we're having some fun, too. What do you know? So, I wanted to get into this, and I'm going to jump straight in. And the tweet that I sent out to promote this, and, of course, the postings on Facebook and minds.com, all say it very simply. Trudeau, while embracing, indirectly, but embracing FGM, female genital mutilation, is cracking down on everybody else. If you're anti-abortion, or if you're anti-LGBTQ2R3 hashtag, whatever it is this week, don't expect to be able to get any funding for summer jobs because your opinions are invalid. Justin is, of course, the guy who declared the Liberal Party of Canada to be a pro-choice party. And anybody who was pro-life, who wanted to be a member of Parliament, would have to sign a declaration saying that they will vote pro-choice in the event of a free vote in the Commons. And I just can't stomach that kind of an attitude. What right does Trudeau have to declare how his members, who are going to be guided by their own conscience on such matters, are going to vote? The guy is a dictator. And it just gets worse. Here's the latest. Remember, I just said just now that Trudeau was going to be cracking down on anybody who had the wrong beliefs. Well, he's gone and done it now. Because the Canada Student Funding, the Canada Summer Jobs Program, will no longer be funding groups with anti-abortion or anti-LGBTQRS3 hashtag phlegm views. Instead, they're going to be left out in the cold. Only pro-choice organizations. And in fact, there is a declaration that these groups will have to attest to before they even apply. And if they don't, they are out of luck. Here's what they have to agree to. The Charter of Rights, including they have to agree to the underlying Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as well as other rights. There's a PowerPoint presentation that's read from. These include, it states, reproductive rights and the right to be free from discrimination on the basis of blah, 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 blah. You know, all you would really have to say is to be free from discrimination or be open to all. All means all, but no, they have to put in all these things. And once again, I note that left-handed people aren't included in that list. So I guess it would be okay to discriminate me. Or maybe people who wear glasses. I wear glasses to drive. Maybe it's okay to discriminate against them. Or actually, you know, that may come under physical disability. Mental disability. I guess that means I am allowed to I must hire liberals. After all. Or even worse, hire NDPs, because socialism is definitely a mental disorder. Gender identity or expression. Yeah, whatever. Reproductive rights. In other words, if you are pro-life, you're screwed. you can't attest to this. Because you're not going to go against your own conscience, which, by the way, is also covered by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So this has put you in a legal catch-22. Because you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. But this is the mentality of the Trudeau government. In one breath, they're saying this, that, you have to be pro-choice, you can't discriminate on sex, religion, race, whatever, and so on. But imagine a Muslim group applies for funding under this program. Now, the Muslim doctrine, which is believed by Muslims, rightly or wrongly, I'm not going to judge this, but rightly or wrongly, believed by Muslims to be the final, unalterable, inerrant word of God, is anti-gay. There's a Pew Research study, or there's a number of different ones, but there's a Pew Research study out which suggests that more than 50% of the Muslim community believes that homosexuality should be illegal. And in the extreme cases of ISIS, and there's a reason I'm bringing ISIS into this, in the extreme cases, they're throwing homosexuals off buildings. Just imagine the screaming that would come from a mosque or from an Islamic community center if they were declined funding because their doctrine states that they're anti-gay. Well, you know full well that they're not going to be denied funding. You know it, and I know it. We're not stupid. I was told last night that this was pure speculation on my part. And yeah, it's a prediction, but it's based on the actions of the current federal government of Justin the moron Trudeau. And this is the government that is refusing to rule out, refusing to exclude FGM. They're indirectly embracing it because they've taken it out of the Discover Canada Citizenship Guide. FGM is barbaric. Now realize that some people try and conflate FGM with male circumcision, and the two are not the same. I want to be clear on that. The two are not the same. There's arguments for and against male circumcision. There is no argument in favor of FGM. But the government, the Liberal government, won't exclude it. Won't say, no, this is wrong. They are allowing ISIS terrorists to come back to Canada after going over to Syria and Iraq to fight with ISIS against the Allies. Well, of course, not with Canada because Trudeau turned tail and ran. But they're coming back to Canada now. And what's Trudeau doing? He's giving Let's Be Good Canadian classes. You know what these people are? They're traitors. Leaving Canada, and even if they don't fit the technical definition of treason, which is fighting against your own country, there is provisions under the Canadian Criminal Code to say that if you were to leave Canada to engage in terrorist activities, that is a crime in Canada and is punishable by prison time. These guys come back to Canada. I asked my kid once what they should do after describing what these people were doing over there. You know what my kid said? Do the same thing to them. No prompting from me. I said to my kid what they were doing, and my kid said, do the same to them if they come back. By the way, my kid's 9. I explained to my kid that, well, we're not that uncivilized here. We do things like put them in prison. So, what do you think? Do you think we should put them in prison? Or do you think we should give them Let's Be Good Canadian classes? Or How to Be a Good Canadian classes? And my kid did not hesitate. Prison. If a 9-year-old can figure it out, why can't the federal freaking government? And then, what do? They turn around and they crack down on anti-gay and anti-abortion groups because, well, we can't be discriminatory, can we? What a bunch of hypocrites. What a bunch of decadent Puritans when it comes to their own ideology. And I'm going to go far as to say this is a war, because, of course, which groups are predominantly anti-gay and not even that anti-gay? The more conservative Christian groups, maybe. But the Roman Catholic Church is anti-abortion, and they're not conservative. They're actually quite a liberal church. They're very accepting and very inclusive. In fact, as one person has said, that they're probably the first safe space, so-called, for the gay community. So, I think this is part of a hidden liberal agenda. This is a war on Christians. This is about stamping out Christianity, and it seems to be about importing Islam. Now, I'm not opposed to Islam as a faith, but I certainly don't want artificial importation of any specific group. Canada's border should be open to everybody who qualifies, quite frankly. Not just Muslims, or not just Sikhs, or not just Christians, or not just atheists, whoever. If you've got a skill that we need, you can come in. And if you're seeking refuge from a war, then you can come in. Those are my two stipulations. But Trudeau seems to be about eliminating Christianity and replacing it with something else. And it looks very much like Islam. And that is frightening. And people wonder why I'm a Western separatist. Anyway, folks, that's it. I'm done. I've got this off my chest. I am, as I said, I'm probably a little riled up. So, but Justin Trudeau does get today's Moron of the Moment award. So there you go. In any case, I'll be back on Friday for one last pre-Christmas podcast. I'll probably find something to be angry about by then. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just make a fun one. Who knows? I'll decide between now and then. In any case, you can find me in all the various places. I'll play a little video in a second about that. And after all that, I'll talk to you on Friday. I'm Steve Britton. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this. And if you want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You know how to do it. There's a little bell icon down below. There's a little subscribe button down below. And as well, you can find me in a number of different places on the internet. You can find me on Facebook with Steve Speaks Freely. You can find me on Twitter at SCBritton. And of course, there's two very important places that you can also find me. This is where, if you want to support the show and help me expand the audience and do all the stuff that us creators try to do with their shows, you can find me on minds.com, minds.com, at SCBritton, and you can wire me points, and you can wire me a few bucks if you choose to. You can try wiring me some ducks if you like, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere. And the other place that you could find me, and it's a brand new site, it's called makersupport.com. So you can check me out there as well, also at SCBritton. So remember that, SCBritton, BRITTON, and you can find me in all those different places. And above all else, please do subscribe and also comment. I like to know what you think, so give me some comments while you're at it. Thanks.